So, what's the difference between experimental probability and theoretical probability? So, let's start with theoretical probability. So, that's like if you have a situation, what should be the probability of getting any outcome? So, let's say that we're talking about flipping a coin. When you flip a coin, there's two possible outcomes. You're either going to get heads or tails. So since there's two possibilities and they're equally likely, then say that the probability of me flipping heads, well, anytime I flip, the probability is going to be, well, I have one head out of two sides. So my probability is 1/2 or 0.5. And a lot of times we refer to probability using the decimal form. You could also say this is 50%, and we use that a lot when we talk. Well, what's the experimental probability? That's based on me actually doing an experiment. And the experimental probability depends on how many trials you do, which is how many times you run the experiment. So let's run this experiment, and we're going to run it 10 times. You ready? Okay, so we're going to start, and we're just counting the number of heads we get out of 10 times of doing it. All right. Now, if the theory is right, we're going to get heads exactly 5 times. Let's see what really happens. Okay, so first one. Heads. Tails. Heads again, that's on my third try. Fourth try, heads again. Fifth try, heads again. Here's my sixth try, heads again. Seventh try, I got tails. Eighth try, I got heads again. Ninth try, heads again. 10th try, heads again. So I got 8 for the experiment I just did. I'm just going to write H for heads here. I got 8 out of 10. So that's a lot higher than 50%. That's 0.8. What if I do this 100 times? So just pause, and I'm going to do this 100 times. Ready? Okay, so after doing this 100 times, I got heads to come up 55 times. So my probability became 55 out of 100, or 0.55, 55%. So the more trials I did, the closer to the theoretical probability I'd get. It's still not going to be perfect, but the more trials you do, the closer you're going to get to your theoretical probability. So just to wrap it up, right, the difference between theoretical and experimental is theoretical is like what you think should happen based on even chances of your outcomes happening. So if you have two outcomes, you have a 50-50 chance. When you have dice, a 6-sided dice, any one side coming up is like a 1 out of 6 chance, right? So that's your theoretical. For experimental, it's actually based on what happens when you do an experiment. And the more trials you do, the closer your experimental will come to your theoretical. Yeah.